Marlie Hall. I've spent more than 15 years in news chasing the stories that matter most. Now I get to focus on our community and bring you the show that covers the culture like no other. Join me as I lead the conversations we have when we're the only ones in the room. So today on Marlie, we're going deep on box office hit Queen and Slim, then heartthrob Idris Elba says social media makes him sad, and Snoop Dogg is making music for babies. Yes, you heard me, Uncle Snoop loves the kids. So I've got some friends here with me to help us break it all down. We have producer and media personality, we have Brittany Nicholson, we have comedian Mike Brown, and Khaaliq Crowder, journalist and cultural critic. So we have to start with the film Queen and Slim. It's the feature debut of writer-producer Lena Waithe and director Melina Matsoukas. Queen and Slim is a modern-day Black Bonnie and Clyde story filled with social commentary about race relations, and it killed it at the box office this past weekend. I saw it last night. I loved it. Brittany, I know you saw it too. I give it an A+. What would you give it?
I'm right there with you. I give it an A+ too. I loved the project. I mean, the cinematography,
Yes.
the shots, the casting, the acting, the wardrobe, just the overall aesthetic. I mean, the lines, the writing. I think Lena Waithe delivered. Melina Matsoukas, she delivered as well. I think it was just an awesome project. But I'm seeing a lot of mixed reviews from everybody. And honestly, personally, I think that's just what great art does. I mean, I would put this down as iconic work because that's what great art does, in my opinion.
Yes.
It makes you think. It makes you feel. It creates, dialogue at the end of the day. Whether it makes you uncomfortable, whether it brings you joy, whether it brings you pain. It creates dialogue and much needed conversation. And I think Queen and Slim did just that.
It inspires debate, but one part of it that I absolutely love that you didn't mention was the love story. It was like an amazing love story. It was so deep and nuanced and complicated, just how I like it.
Yeah.
But there was also part of it that was more of a social commentary, and a lot of critics saying that there wasn't enough social commentary. What did you think?
Well, since I didn't see the movie, I'll say this. I think that it's great. Let's just put it out there. I do think that the social commentary of a Black couple fighting for their lives and having to kill a cop and run and their whole life changes. It's something that I do want to see, and I think that it's important to kind of show these kind of stories of people who are like, I'm not taking this shit anymore. You know what I mean? I don't know how it happened. I don't know. I know like there's like a Tinder date or something, and that they met from, I guess, like social media or whatever.
Right.
And maybe love makes you do crazy things. I don't know what Lena wrote, but I do know that that is something that I do want to see, and I think that it's great to see like a Bonnie and Clyde film like starring people who look like us. So.
Right, because it starts with a very unremarkable, a bad even Tinder date, and then it unfolds into this epic journey that we go on with them. Do you find it ironic how it starts compared to how it ends? But you didn't see it.
I didn't see it, but also I know people were like basically saying, don't compare it to Bonnie and Clyde because they basically were accused of a crime they didn't do, and that's how they ended up going on the run, where Bonnie and Clyde actually was doing something that they knew there was wrong, and obviously in the end, them, their time, so it's come to a short Bonnie and Clyde. But I definitely think that, it's a form of entertainment. It's definitely escapism. They're a dark-skinned couple, and it's just a form of entertainment. I'm all here for Black films, and Lena Waithe is just part of this new wave of, directors. Melina Matsoukas is a bomb-ass music video director, so I haven't seen the film yet, but I know, like, it's an A+ in my book.
And the film makes you think about what would you do if your days were limited, if at any moment you wouldn't be here anymore. But I feel like the really interesting part about it is how would you love if your time is limited? What does that look like? I know I keep going back to the love thing. Why are you laughing?
No, because like if I found out I have a couple days left or whatever before I get caught or killed or whatever, like of course I'm in love, love freaky stuff, like thrill stuff, like why not? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like live it up. Like
Yes, but speaking of freaky stuff, the sex scene though. Yes, say it again.
That sex scene, woo child. That's all I can say. It's woo child. They went there. That was actually one of the highlights of the film for me, was that sex scene, because the juxtaposition with, the riot in the scene, and it just made me think of Black love being synonymous with Black pain. And it just was
That right there.
It hit hard. It hit different. And I mean, let's just talk about, their chemistry. Daniel and Jodie's chemistry was off the charts, okay?
Yes.
Just them together, it was just, I could watch them all day. And I mean, you hit the nail on the head too, Marlie, with the Black love. I think Lena did a great job of capturing that, the essence of Black love specifically in that movie. Just the lines. I mean, it hit different, and I would definitely give it a huge thumbs up on mine. And you have to support.
Absolutely. And speaking of the main characters, it really surprised me to find out that they are both very, very British with British accents. And it's such an American film depicting an American Black experience. Did it surprise you to know that the lead actors are British?
Well, as an artist myself, I've known Daniel, his work since what was like a Black Mirror episode called 100 Million Merits, which is a great commentary on the world today. Whatever. I didn't know that Jodie was British, but that's dope. Also, haven't seen the film, but I loved the sex scene. I'll tell you, so the sex scene was great. I don't know what happened in the sex scene, but just the existence of the sex scene is just a movie you have to see. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna see if I can just watch it right after we film this.
Just that scene.
Just the scene. I'm gonna come in late. I'm gonna see the scene. Yes.
Right.
But I feel like we put a lot of pressure on Black movies. Do you feel like Black movies by Black directors always have to make this grand, epic statement?
I would say yes and no, because I feel like, when you become a creator, like Lena Waithe or Tyler Perry, Spike Lee, you're always going to get picked apart, you know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, Black people are monolithic. We all have our different opinions. We can all agree to disagree, but it's like, they're telling it from their sides. I think people need to realize, people are allowed to have their own niches as well, so.
Do you think this would be counted among the best Black films of the year?
I definitely think so.
It has to, right?
It has to. Just the amount of debate and conversation that has been sparked just from this project alone it has to go down as iconic. That's iconic to me. When it sticks with you, it sticks with me. That project sticks with me the same way Get Out or Moonlight, stuck with me. It pushed boundaries. It made people uncomfortable, and it made us talk. And
Yes.
I think that's what iconic art is all about.
Yes. So can we fast forward to the very last scene of the movie? And there's some spoiler alerts here.
Spoiling it already?
We're going there.
A little bit.
You already told me there was a sex scene. I didn't know that going. Okay.
We're going there.
We have to go to the end because so emotional, crying my eyes out. I don't know about you.
Yes.
So that last scene to me read like a wedding. Yeah. Did it seem that way to you?
It did.
They almost exchanged vows, the words that were being said, and then after she gets shot and he picks her up and literally carries her across that threshold, the symbolic threshold, that was everything.
Yes, it was so many hidden messages throughout that movie. It's a lot to unpack. Like, I'm dying to see it again because I feel like there were just so many messages and so many things touched on throughout that project. But I definitely think that last scene, when she asked, "Can I be your legacy?" and he said, "You already are." I mean,
yes, girl.
I mean, we're talking iconic Black content right here. We're talking iconic Black content. So, okay, the pen was lethal. The pen was lethal. So I definitely iconic scene.
Yes,
iconic. It hurt. It hurt, and I know a lot of the critique is surrounding that scene. A lot of people wanted the happy ending. A lot of people wanted to see them just win, and I understand that. I understand that critique, but I think I also understand why it took place as well. Just that harsh reality, and I think it also poses a question of why we have such immortality, and how people just go down in history books. Usually, typically have the most violent deaths, and like how we associate like iconic and like immortality with just violence. It was an interesting question for me.
Yes.
In watching that scene.
Yes. Well, get the tissues ready because it's sad, but it's a good one.
Yes.
So Queen and Slim is a very layered movie, but at its core, it's a beautiful Black love letter, and I'm a sucker for a complicated love story, and I think this one is for the ages. So coming up, our favorite British bae is taking a breather from social media, we'll tell you why, and lullabies are getting a remix from the dog father himself. More to come on how Snoop continues to stay ahead of the game after the break. Yes. Welcome back. Idris Elba is a heartthrob all over the internet, but now the actor admits that he may need to back off social media to strengthen his mental health. In a recent interview, the Golden Globe winner says he is taking a break from social, quote, because it makes me feel depressed. So before we jump in, I want to reintroduce my guests. We have producer and media personality Brittany Nicholson, comedian Mike Brown, and journalist Khaaliq Crowder. So if Idris gets sad from social, is there any hope for the rest of us?
Sorry, no, there isn't any hope. Everyone delete
Darn, I was hoping you wouldn't say that.
There's no hope for any of us. I do think it's really good for Idris to say that, and I think it's becoming a trend where people are being okay with it, because I think social media, there is the idea of the self, and also you have the followers and all these things. And for somebody like Idris, who I think he had so much popularity before social media was a thing, with like The Wire and all these other things, I can understand where he's coming from. And also, he's I think he said he's 47. Like, he grown. He don't need to be on social media sometimes, you know, just like relax and wait till that Bond movie you could do, you know, just chill out.
But from the outside looking in, it looks like he's living a dream.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, he was last year's sexiest man alive.
Yeah.
He just married a beautiful, gorgeous woman.
Yeah.
He's world famous.
Yeah, it's maybe
But you can relate to being a public personality that feels sad sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, but it's also, I don't have all those other accolades. So then I look at his depression, I'm like, okay, well, I get it. You can be depressed, you know? It's just interesting for me to see that this is happening, and I hope that he is okay, and he goes through like that journey of like not having to be out in the spotlight. And also, Hollywood was based on some kind of like being anonymous from time to time, right? We didn't have this access to celebrities that we do now. So if you're someone like Idris Elba, who is coming from a different country, and now he's like a part of American culture and all that, so it's like, I'm interested in his story, and I hope he feels better, you know, Idris. You know,
yeah, absolutely. And I think around this time of year, around the holidays, social media can be kind of tough too. I know for me personally, when you're like scrolling through your feed and you see everybody all booed up and big happy families and great spreads of food, does it make you feel that way sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, social media is draining, you know, even like regular times, it's like every day it's a competition. You know, Thanksgiving just came. Who had the best, tastiest food? Who had the greatest looking family? Who took the best Christmas pictures? You know, who's thinner, who's prettier? It's like, oh my God. Who got engaged? You know, who got back with their ex? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, who can do some Thanksgiving challenge? Like, it's just never ending. And, you know, especially for Idris, like, it was kind of weird hearing it from him because he is older. I'm a Gen Zer and he's from a different generation. And it's kind of like something in our industry, like, we have to have social media. And sometimes it does get draining. Like, I want to take a break from it, but then you feel forced because it could mess up your career. But Idris, that nigga is already established. Like, he already has a bag or whatever. Like, even on social media, it's not going to like, it's not going to mess it up. Like, period. Like,
right. He of all people can take a break.
He'll be all right. He'll be cool.
Be just as popping, you know, before and after. But, you know, I think it's just important. You know, I think this conversation is important, especially coming from him. You know, a black man. I think we need more conversations around mental health, especially him. You know, with his platform, with all these accolades, it means a lot coming from him. Just saying straight up, like, this is not good for me. It's depressing me. It's making me sad. We need to talk more. We need to talk out more of these emotions among our community. So I'm glad that Idris Elba did it, and I think, you know, at the end of the day, it's just a constant reminder that these celebrities are just people. At the end of the day, like, you know, take away all the accolades, take away the craft, everything. At the end of the day, they are just people, and they need breaks just like we do.
True, but social media is meant to connect us. How can we prevent it from bringing us down?
One thought I had is that maybe Idris winning Sexiest Man Alive last year and then seeing John Legend win it this year might have depressed him.
Right.
Because it might have... I'm sorry. I'm such a piece of shit. I'm so sorry. I think that what Idris has done, I think, is kind of like open the playing field, and I'm curious now as an artist to see how many other artists come out and just openly talk about the depression. I remember I think we talked about it here about Summer Walker and those anxiety issues, and then all these other people are now coming out, and it's very interesting being in this world and we're like, okay, well, why would you be depressed? But we don't know people. Yeah, Mariah Carey. Like, we don't know their lives, but we see that they're depressed and it makes sense. So hopefully he gets the help that he needs if he needs it, or he can just stay away from all the bullshit of social media.
Right.
You know, you've been in the
That's right. And to realize that social media is just a very narrow view of a person's life. It's like the best of the best of the best highlights.
Yeah.
It's a very natural, and one thing I've learned is, don't believe the hype. I know people who got 40,000 Instagram followers, they ain't got 40,000, they barely even got $40 in their account. So I'm just like, don't believe the hype. You see these people in real life, don't look like what they are on, camera. And, God knows where Instagram is going to be in 5 years, but you need to go out in the real world and make things happen and not make it look like it's, happening on your Instagram page.
Exactly. But if you have more dollars than followers, you're in good shape.
Hell yeah. I'd rather have $1 million than 1 million followers. Say what?
That's okay.
More dollars than followers, huh?
Right.
Well, no word on how long Idris's social media hiatus will last, but as the year winds down, I don't think it would hurt any of us to take a step back and decompress a little. Well, when you think of Snoop Dogg, you picture a marijuana-loving Rastafarian rapper who likes to sip on gin and juice, but now the G-Funk rapper wants to help put your babies to sleep with a hip-hop lullaby album. The new project will include instrumental renditions of some of his most popular classics, including Drop It Like It's Hot and Sensual Seduction. So Snoop is not known for being G-rated. Even if it is just instrumentals, can this work, Mike Brown?
Yes, it can. Yes, Snoop is my favorite artist. He will not stop. I think before this, after the reggae album, he did a gospel album. Right? He did a gospel album. So he's an artist who continually figure out, he can make ways to put his music out. And I think that I don't know how I feel about the lullaby of gin and juice. I don't know how I feel about it.
It's instrumental, though, no words.
No words?
No words.
Okay, then I can do it. I can do it. Like, drop it like it's hot, but no, drop it like it's hot, just a Snoop, just that. I'm with it. I'm with it. I think this is a genius idea. Snoop is just changing the wave. I want to see Jay-Z do one. I want to see Kendrick do one. I want to see, I know a lot of Rhapsody, top 5 rap album of the year. I want to see her do one. And that's it. I'm done.
Well, along those lines, can you name a hip-hop song that you would like to hear converted into a lullaby?
Honestly, a Snoop Dogg's song, it would probably be, it's one of his lesser-known songs, California Roll. I feel like he can't have, like, Gin and Juice and Drop It Like It's Hot as, like, lullaby songs because, like, especially, like, I'm pretty sure as a baby I was very hyper. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are, like, beat songs, whatever. Like, you need something that's relaxing, like, relax. Especially since, Snoop Dogg is the marijuana man. Like, have some, like, he needs to pick his mellow songs and make them the lullabies, and that's going to make sense.
Right, because we don't want babies dropping it like it's hot.
Yeah, it's just like, you're trying to get your baby to sleep, like, not, to be up and you up all night and your eye, like, no, that's not cute.
All I can say is Kids Bop is shaking in their boots, okay, honey? And y'all should be.
Yes.
Y'all should be. I'm so here for Snoop doing this. Like y'all say, y'all hit the nail on the head. He is always reinventing himself, and I think that's the key to Uncle Snoop's success. So just like the kids are going to be listening to this lullaby, so am I. As soon as it drops, just know I'm going to be waiting for that as soon as it drops as well. So super excited for him.
Well, if I could have my own hip-hop lullaby, it would definitely be OPP. Naughty by Nature. I would love to hear that as a lullaby. You don't see it, Mike?
No, I see it. I just didn't know. I would never have guessed OPP, that you would want it, the OPP lullaby. But that's
why is that?
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like the Marlie vibe. I would have went with more like a powerful song. I'm not saying that OPP isn't powerful, but the kids should know about.
Right, but it's instrumental.
All right, cool.
But I like the idea of taking something that's naughty and making it baby version.
Oh.
I see your vision, Marlie.
Okay, I see you. I see you.
Yeah. It's like repurposing it.
Right.
So this, this 12-track project drops on Friday, and I'm not sure if there's a Billboard chart for lullabies, but we hope Snoop reaches #1. So I want to thank my guests, Brittany, Mike, and Khaaliq for joining us and keeping it all the way real. And as always, thank you for watching. And remember, you can follow us on Instagram @Marlie Hall. See you next time. Yeah.